My first period happened when I was in the 6th grade.
My first period was when I was about 9 or 9 and a half.
I was 11 years old, right before I turned 12, actually.
My first period was an experience. I was 11 years old, and I was on a family trip, road trip to New Mexico.
And I was on a class trip to a museum in downtown Manhattan.
My grandmother took me on a whaling trip, and I don't know why. Not to kill whales though, just to whale watch.
I was wearing one of those like unitard shirts. I hated wearing this shirt to begin with, but the fact that I got my period while on this shirt, just like, never gonna do it again.
Honestly, something happened in my pants, and I checked and I noticed it. And I went and told my teacher. There were 2 teachers, and I told one of them.
I asked for some help, and I was pretty embarrassed. But I ended up getting some. My mom was very helpful, but she wanted me to ask for help if I needed it. So I got a giant pad. I mean, at 11 years old, any pad is huge, but this one seemed comedically large.
So I told my grandma just as we were landing, and she told me, oh, don't worry, Mija, like, it's okay, you're wearing black pants, and you know, we'll just wash it at home. So I was a little afraid, I have to say, just because, I mean, I was in public and I felt like everyone could see.
I have an older sister, you know, I have older women in you know, I grew up with women in my home, so like it wasn't something that was unfamiliar to me. I just wasn't expecting it to happen really at any point, you know.
So I did that whole like pull up your pants and waddle, holler at her, and she was a trooper. She came up, she explained how the pad goes on the underpants.
I went home, my mother and my grandmother then proceeded to show me how to put on a pad and what to do and how to deal with pain.
I kind of figured it out, and slowly but surely everybody else in class started getting theirs. So I stopped feeling so alone because we could give each other tampons during, you know, lunch, and it was kind of something we could talk about, and the boys didn't need to know.
And I went to the football game, and the whole time I was like, somebody, do they know? Do they know? How does somebody know? I didn't even know if I had my period, and then I do. So, well, that was my first period experience.
When I walked out, my teacher also gave me some chocolate, and it was a reward for being really brave and just, you know, being forward about it, and, you know, letting her know and being trusting. And it's funny because I never thought twice about it. I was like, well, something's going on, I need to tell my teacher. So that was my first period experience. It wasn't too terrible. I told my family and they were really happy about it. And that was kind of the end of that.
It was kind of a great experience, I have to say. I was the youngest in the class, but I felt a little cool knowing exactly what to do 2 years ahead before everyone else. So that was my first period.
I think back on my first period and I feel pretty proud that it was at a Cracker Barrel, but it also feels like I grew up pretty fast, pretty young. So that was my first period experience.